Oh, welcome to my channel. I'm just watching this on the Somali fraud situation in Minnesota again. This thing just gets keeping worse and worse and worse. Is there anything else that American taxpayers can do to I don't know, I guess, kiss the rear end of Somalians? Are we supposed to spend our life working to pay our taxes, to pay for these stupid Somalians? These people are on welfare like there's no tomorrow. 80% of them are still on welfare, even if they've been here 10 years. It like drops like 1%, big deal. And this whole thing is just a big money laundering thing. And now the investigations are starting to crank up more, and it seems to me like Ilhan Omar and Tim Walz is ready to resign apparently, and then you look at all the Democratic candidates. Jacob Fry from Minneapolis, a complete loser, disgusting human being. You're looking at Ilhan Omar, Tim Walz, Amy Klobuchar, Tina Smith, the Attorney General Keith Ellison. Every one of these people should be in prison. This is absolutely disgusting. And this isn't about just Ilhan Omar stealing $30 million. That's just the tip of the iceberg. This woman is literally trying to continually keep pumping money back into Somalia. What is she, 5, 10 years from now, is she going to be the president of Somalia after she's being deported from here or kicked out of this country? I hope it doesn't happen that soon. I hope she's spending probably the next 20, 30 years in prison before she ends up getting deported to Somalia. But if you watch this from Jesse Waters today in Fox News about how much more deeper this goes with the Somalians, it's enough to make you sick as a taxpayer. And the one thing that never gets brought up, ever gets brought up about this when you talk to these liberal politicians in interviews with the mainstream media is where's the money? I mean, I'm from Minnesota, and we're talking $9 billion to $18 billion, and I think that money could be way better spent on Minnesotans instead of the Somalians. And it's just absolutely enough to make you throw up to sit there and think about that. And no one ever talks about the money. They never ask a question about, is someone going to be hunting down the money? Why was there $1 million a day in cash leaving the international or the Minneapolis airport, going to Somalia? It was always this one Somalian or two Somalian men with the suitcases, and they would just let it go. They would just let it go. I cannot imagine even trying to get through the airport with $10,000 worth of cash. You can be asked all kinds of questions of where the money came from, or what are you doing with it, and where is it going to, and it's insane. The Minnesota taxpayers have sitting here and just literally funding the country of Somalia. It's absolutely disgusting, and I, for one, infuriated by it because I want my money back. I'm not going to have my property taxes raised in Minnesota next year to help pay for this, and then politicians going like they did with COVID. Oh well, we'll all forget in 5 years, and then it's no big deal. This country's $1 trillion in a hole anyway. What's 18 billion? That's their attitude. That's why we are $35 trillion in a hole. But if you listen to this with Waters today, it might make you disgustingly sick if you're in Minnesota.
Sun dripping, and we're not talking daycares anymore.
When a Somali goes to the doctor, magically they forgot how to speak English, so they need an interpreter there. So the county brings in an interpreter at $100 an hour, minimum 8 hours, to interpret what the doctor is telling the patient. And then remember, the interpreter has to get to the doctor's office or the hospital. How are they getting there? The transportation company, and then they got to get back home. And that patient had to get to the doctor's office. How? Transportation.
Oh, so how much are we paying the interpreters and their drivers?
Almost 900 of them are Somali-owned. So in the second video, Nick Shirley and I went to 16 of them. I've actually been to about 70 of them. They don't exist.
So
Again, what a racket. Unbelievable. These people not only sign up to be transporters to take people back and forth to medical facilities that are Somalian, but then you have to have an interpreter to tell them what's wrong with them, and the county gets billed for that, and it costs the taxpayer, again, a fortune for this. I mean, here's another thing too. If these Democrats are all about, you know, equal rights to everybody and DEI crap, um, I'm Norwegian and Danish background. Do I get an interpreter to go to the doctor's office? Does somebody pick me up at my house to take me there and drive me back home because I'm too damn stupid to drive or can't figure out street signs because I can't speak English? I mean, this is the kind of babysitting stuff we're supposed to do. And Trump is right. What do these people add to the United States? What do they add to the United States? Maybe you can call me up, Ilhan Omar, and explain to me what are the Somalians really worth?
Transportation companies that transport no one. Sounds like something we should be looking into. But Democrats say no need. That would be a waste of money.
I'm so exhausted in trying to ask what any of this, information has led to you finding any criminals that you have indicted that explains why you are wasting so much of our taxpayer resources and also terrorizing our communities.
There is a woman who is a congresswoman, like she always says. I can't stand her voice. She is literally sitting in Congress, running another country, funneling money to Somalia, using her position as Congress, funneling her money or funneling American taxpayer money to Somalia. She is so up to her neck in this, it isn't even funny. And I cannot, the day I wake up and I see the news that says Ilhan Omar has been thrown in a federal prison somewhere, I don't know. I hope I don't have a heart attack over the good news, but I honestly can say to you, I will be cheering up and down because this has been long overdue. It's not even about the marry the brother thing anymore, which she did. There's no question about it, and lied on her immigration paperwork, and then took, obviously, social services money to go to college and everything else, and then hates the country. She is literally running a Somalian government inside Minnesota. And as to why other congressmen can't see this and can't catch on to it and haven't thrown her rear end in prison by now is insane. It's absolutely nuts. I mean, how many more billions of dollars is this thing going to steal of Minnesota taxpayer money before they finally throw her ass in prison?
Omar thinks it's a waste of money to catch Somalis stealing money. You know what else is a waste of money? Daycares with no kids. Democrats let Somali pirates steal billions, and now they care about taxpayer money. Whistleblowers say they warned Walz about the fraud and he ignored it. And now the hunt's on, and the bloodhound is barking.
Tim Walz is a coward. He is a coward. He would not guarantee that the Treasury Secretary of the United States of America would have police protection in the Minnesota state capitol. He is afraid of what is coming. And he's not going to be able to hide behind this curtain because we will get there.
But this is bigger than Walz. He didn't rise on his own. Democrats powered the machine, pushed him.
The Treasury Secretary coming to Minnesota is absolutely great news. He will turn Tim Walz upside down and shake him until every damn plug nickel falls out of his pocket. And then he'll find out where it came from. And that's what Tim Walz is seriously changing his tune. Even you watch Jacob Fry starting all of a sudden admit there's fraud in Minnesota, and because they know what's coming. They're going to find this money, and they're going to find out where it went to. And I hope they're all implicated in this, and I hope they're all prosecuted with this, and I hope they all go to prison for this. Because this is disgusting. You don't steal $9 billion or $18 billion worth of Minnesota or nationwide taxpayer money. As far as I'm concerned, that's a terroristic act. If you walk into someone else's house and rob their house and tell them, don't worry about it, just pay some more, I'll be back next month, sooner or later something's gonna happen to somebody.
Forward, and he came within inches of putting him on the throne. But the curtain's moving, and Timmy's center stage in his underwear. His worst nightmare. And Mayor Small Fry can't look away.
obviously everybody could have done more to prevent fraud. And I think that's a fair point to make. Do more to prevent fraud. And you look what he's doing right now. He's setting up a whole bunch of infrastructure to do that. And by the way, look, the fraud's real. We've all got to acknowledge it. The fraud is very real.
You don't have to tell Besant twice.
And now he's going to admit there's fraud. And then they want to set up some more infrastructure to what? Study the fraud and see where the fraud is. I think we all know where it is. We all know where it is. Every state you go to, look at this. They got it happen in Ohio, Somalians. They happen in Maine, Somalians. Happen in Minnesota, Somalians. If I was Donald Trump, I would kick every damn Somalian out of this country. Send them back to where they came from and make sure they absolutely stay there. This is absolutely disgustingly pathetic. I don't know of any other group of people from any other country that has come to the United States and made a disgusting spectacle out of themselves for being nothing but thieves. And to be perfectly honest with you, the money that they are spending hand over fist or water off a duck's rear end for this kind of stuff, if I were a black person in this country, I would really be squawking about this. They are literally taking away all other social services programs from other people who more than need it. Why don't they take care of veterans in this country? Why don't they take care of minorities that are already have in this country that need help? Why don't they give SNAP benefits to people that actually need SNAP benefits? They're just signing up paperwork, pretending they're just damn stupid like they are, and then they can't read or write, and they're just signing them up for some free stuff. And half these businesses, daycares, transport places, things like that, they don't even exist. It's just a shell company. It's like they read it out of the Hunter Biden corrupt manual. And that's how they're doing it. It's just a money laundering operation that's happening right under our nose. And they're just sitting there stealing our tax money, and then you go to work every damn day of the week to try to make more of it.
He's going to follow the money, like it's the Somali mob.
What we do is follow the money, just like we followed it with the mafia, just like we follow it with the drug cartels. And we will find out who's done this. I announced today that we are going to put in effect a whistleblower program. And my sense is that the rats will turn on each other.
One even more.
Excellent idea. And yes, it will happen. Because the heat's going to get cranked up. People are going to start seeing images of jail cells or prison sentences in front of them, or have to lawyer up to defend themselves. And sooner or later, they're going to start squawking. They're going to start turning each other in. And I hope that seriously happens. This has gone way too far. Absolutely disgusting. Donald Trump, would you please do me a favor? Kick that Ilhan Omar thing out of this country. I don't care. Throw her in prison first. Her and her husband are a scam. They've always been a scam. Ask her about the $638,000 of PPP funding that they took. She claims it had to go pay for E Street business. That's the name of the business, the E Street Marketing Group. She paid her husband $2.5 million from her campaign to do the marketing. They didn't lose money during COVID, but she still took $638,000 of PPP COVID funding money. Thank you for joining my channel, and I hope you like and subscribe.